Nationwide protests over the war in Gaza and President Biden's approach have inflamed dozens of colleges and universities, stoked tensions in the Democratic Party, and created new challenges for his re-election. Today, more pro-Palestinian protests as dozens of graduating students walked out of their commencement at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. Across the country at the University of California at Berkeley, commencement began peacefully, but was disrupted by hundreds of protesters, most of them graduates in cap and gown. And tonight in Gaza, some 300,000 Palestinians in the city of Rafah are being forced to flee once again as the Israeli military prepares to target Hamas. CBS's Ramy Inocencio in Jerusalem leads us off.
Good evening. Israel's war cabinet has greenlit a new military advance on Gaza's southernmost city. Thousands of people in Rafah are right now evacuating to the coast on top of the more than 100,000 that fled in the past week. Ramping up, the exodus from Rafah. Gazans heeded Israel's newest warning sent by texts and flyers from the sky. You are in a dangerous combat area. The IDF is about to operate with great force. We're leaving because of our fear and because of coercion, said this woman. We're leaving for the unknown, and there are no safe areas at all. All the areas it says are safe are unsafe. More are overflowing further up the coast, like Abu Mohammed al-Radi and his family. We came from Rafah and found no place to stay, he said. There isn't enough space for all the people. There is not enough space to hold the displaced people. What's left in Rafah is eerie abandonment, even journalists wrapping up their final stories. At the city's biggest hospital, a quiet acceptance more death is coming. Hamas is still fighting back with missiles and with media. This new video praises snipers shooting Israeli soldiers. Israel's army released its own, troops advancing through Gazan homes. But tonight, Hamas also released this video, a 51-year-old British hostage. They claim he died after an Israeli strike. Tonight, more protests across the country and outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's house in Jerusalem. These protests have been happening for months. They're saying bring the hostages home. Their blood is on the government's hands. Protests have swelled in recent weeks, calling for Netanyahu's ouster and for that ceasefire with Hamas. Until then, the desperate in Gaza are evacuating as fast as they can. And Hamas says ceasefire talks are back at square one, blaming Israel for rejecting its proposal last week. And Robert, the U.S. is trying to keep Israel and Hamas talking, if only virtually, to keep ceasefire hopes alive.
Ramy Inocencio in Jerusalem. Thanks.